Good evening, beautiful humans of Facebook Live. I hope you're doing well. It is a hot day here in Alberta if you are in Alberta, and I am just loving it, other than my messy hair. No, I love it too. I love it all. Um, Today's been a crazy day. I was like working all morning on my blog, which I'm really excited to post and launch after this. And then I went to the studio for a bit, and then I came back home, and I was like, do I eat before this live? Do I eat after this live? You know, I went back and forth with myself for like 15 minutes, and then I was like, I'll just wait till after. So here I am. Welcome. If you are here with me live, feel free to leave me a little comment and let me know that you're here. I'm really excited to share with you today because over the last couple days, I've had some really big aha moments about why I'm so passionate about the program that I'm putting forward this summer. So, the continuation of the self-love summer modules that we've done together, it is just such important work, and I'm so happy to share it with you. Like, yeah. So I want to tell you a story about where my life was to where I am now, from 2017 to now. Yeah, and I wrote it out because I didn't want to miss anything. So just give me 1 second. And hello, Shelly. Thank you for being here live. Okay. So, yeah, I wanted to do this live because I realized this work that I've been doing on identity and who I'm being has been happening since 2017. Okay. So I've actually been involved with the personal growth world since I was 13. It was crazy. I went to large scale events, smaller, more intimate events, and I actually started taking training to be in this profession of personal development when I was just 16 years old. And it's a pretty wild ride when I think about it 20 years later, and everything I've learned and all the places I've been and all the people I've met, since I started in this world. So I always knew that I wanted to do something impactful, but I was never really sure what it was. Like, I've always wanted to write a book. I've always wanted to speak on stages. And then I attended a retreat in February of 2017, and everything became clear. Now, this retreat was a life-changing experience for me, and the retreat itself was not awesome. I arrived in Los Angeles and arrived at this house. We were supposed to be having this retreat. The venue changed last minute. We got there, and there was literally like 6 beds and like 20 women there. And so we had to go out and buy air mattresses and sleep on the floor. But what I learned from this experience was like that I wanted to be in community with women. And then I also got to learn by contrast. So I got to see everything that was possible with working with women and leading retreats and leading women's circles. And I learned that via contrast, right? So I seen what this woman had put together, what she had done, and I looked at, ooh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But like, I want this vibe. I want this energy. And I think I can do it in a way that's authentic to me, not having people sleep on the floor on air mattresses. Okay. So at this point, I had had the studio for 2 years, and honestly, I was already bored. I'm the type of person, again, I've been in business for myself since I was very young. I actually had my first brick and mortar business when I was 16, and I would find myself getting bored with my business. Like, I had taken it to a certain level, and so I'd change it into something else, or I'd take a new training or whatever it was. And so at this point, I had the studio for 2 years. I was getting bored, and I like still at this point had no idea what I had gotten myself into. Like, I was still learning so much about the yoga world and the yoga community and customer service and meeting with people and all those things. Um, and then one day I seen an ad on Facebook to go to a women's circle. And I went to this women's circle, and it was like my heart exploded and my mind opened for possibilities. Okay. So I attended this women's circle with this lovely woman in St. Albert, and everything changed. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. How do I learn how to do this? Which is how I ended up at this retreat in February of 2017. Okay. So I got home from this retreat and I knew in my heart, like I knew it in my body. I was like, okay, I've got to do something. And so I actually read this book called The Desire Map by Danielle Laporte. And I worked through her entire workbook. And it's a great program. You know, it was perfect for me at the time. And what so what this work really did for me was it was the first time I felt my goals rather than just talking about them. Okay. I didn't know that I was doing that at the time, but I knew that it felt different. Okay. So I want to tell you about some of these things that I asked for back in 2017. So to have $1,000 cushion in my bank account. Okay. I have achieved that. Run my first Women's Circle series. Boom. Done. Run my first yoga retreat by, I wrote May of 2018. I actually ran my first local one in October of 2017 and my first yoga retreat abroad in April of 2018. So I really, you know, did that goal. Go to acupuncture and massage once a month. I do that. I was actually just thinking I haven't been to acupuncture for a while, but my self-care in terms of my health is super on point. Stop overeating at family meals. So this is something like I don't overeat at all anymore. Like I don't get that full feeling very often anymore. I've really gotten my eating under control in terms of binge eating. Okay. Try new veggie recipes once a month. I try new vegetable recipes all the time. Today I did one with beets. It was great. No phone on Sundays unless it's an emergency. So I have not done this one yet. I'm still pretty bad with having my phone glued to me all the time. And that is a belief system that I have to release, that as a business owner, you have to, you know, have your phone all the time. And so I'm working on that. I'm changing my identity around that. Meditate every day. I do some sort of meditation, breath work every single day. I could not do life without it. So that is solid in there. I have intimacy with my husband 3 times per week, and that is happening in case you care to know. Yoga 1 time per week. I have a regular practice. I teach more than once a week. It's great. Happy monk for my altar. And so this is really cool because this is something tangible you can see. Just 1 second. I don't know if I can grab it. My husband has it up high on a shelf. Oh yeah. Okay. I meant to grab it before the live, but I forgot. So this is the happy monk that I wanted for my altar, and it felt like it was too expensive, but it really made me happy, and it still makes me happy every time I see and notice it. So I was really glad that I got that. I had also written that I wanted to attend 2 retreats that I had wanted to go on, and I did. I actually attended 3 retreats that year because I was just like in the learning, in the healing. I just wanted it all. Journal every day. This is something I don't do, and I wish I did. My next step that I really want to move into is more writing, and that starts with journaling every day, in my opinion. And you know, I put up a lot of blog posts today. I'm really excited about those. But yeah, it's like I really want to get in with my writing. Clean my office. So my office gets cleaned about once a month, and in between it's a total disaster. But I have learned to just be at ease with that, and that's okay. Plan a once a month date night. Me and my husband do this for sure. We probably are more like a 3 times a month date night. Which is great. And honestly, like, our marriage has never been in a better place. Like, I have a marriage that I could have never even dreamed about. Okay. I have set boundaries with my parents, which is so interesting because my dad is actually not alive anymore. And boundaries have been something that I've been working on for a long time, but I feel pretty solid in most of my relationships. There's probably still some work to do there, if I'm being honest. Hang out with my nephew 2 times per month. And this is so cool because now I have so many nieces and nephews, I can't even count them on this live with you. And I get to hang out with all of them, like, all the time. And, like, today I was just with Preston, and, like, he's working for me now. Like, he works at the studio. So crazy. This one's my favorite, I think. Create new female friendships. And I have, through the community, through the women's circles, through the retreats, I've created more female friendships than some days I'm like, how did I get here? How did this happen? Because I was the type of woman, I was the type of girl who was like, I'll just hang with the boys. They're easier to get along with. Like, I don't know if any of you felt like that, but now I have, again, female friendships that some people only dream about. Plan 2 yoga community events. Oh my gosh, we have had so many community events since I wrote that down. Like, it's just unbelievable. Like, that's like my favorite thing to do, is have community events and spoil people and have food and all the things. All the things. Take some new courses. Yeah, I've taken a lot of training since 2017. And that's a big part of, like, launching this big program, is like, I'm in this place where I'm just like, yes, what's next, right? Like, I move, you move, we move together. Like, let's just all rise together. Okay. Cut back on TV. So the universe is forcing me to cut back on TV right now because there's nothing to watch. So this is what I'm still working on. It's kind of the way that I check out, but I'm definitely watching more TV, or less TV, than I was back then. And then the last thing I had written down was become me. And I was like, when I seen that today, like, I was like, oh my God, like, become me. It's like, it's written right here. I don't want to show you all my work, but I can't tell if you can see it, but it's written right here. Become me. Okay. And that's what this program I've created for the summer is really about. I want you to feel the most you that you have ever felt in your entire life, or at least for a really long time. Okay. Because it's so different living life this way. Okay, and I'm not telling you my list of things that I succeeded about for accolades or praise. I'm telling you because the way that I achieved this was by actively changing who I was being, and focusing more on the ways that I wanted to feel rather than what I wanted to do. And at the time, what I had written down in the desire map was that I wanted to feel whimsical, nourished, and at ease. And I would say that those things are still very true. But knowing that those things were the ways that I wanted to feel guided my choices, right? They primed me for seeking personal growth. They primed me to look for things that I wanted to accomplish. And this is what somatics and doing this work around identity and belief systems and becoming more of who you are, it helps you change who you're being on autopilot. Now, of course, it doesn't start off, right, as being on autopilot. It starts off with a lot of difficult decisions and a lot of hard lessons and a lot of feeling ways that you don't want to feel. And that's why I wanted to create this container of support this summer, so that you don't feel like you're alone in this. Like, I want to be with you on your way to autopilot. Okay? And if I think back to, like, my very first local retreat, so it was in fall of 2017. And honestly, if you knew me at that retreat, you don't know me now. You would have to, like, if you met me on the street, you would have to assume that I was a completely different person. And that's because I am, right? In my first retreat, I was a perfectionist. I was hyper controlling. I was extremely reactive. And honestly, I struggled to keep it all together. Okay. But I wanted to do the retreat and I wanted it to be perfect. And it felt like it was the only thing that I could do at the time. It felt like this was the only way I could do it, was to be a perfectionist, to control it, to be reactive. And it all came from a very masculine place. Okay. So I'm talking about masculine energy versus feminine energy. And it came from this masculine place of, you know, doing, achieving, striving. And it was so hard on my heart and on my body and on my mind and on my relationships and everything. Right? And because I was so focused on this doing and achieving and striving and accomplishing, I never took any time to really enjoy the fruits of my labor. It's like, well, why am I doing all this? Right? Because there was always something new to work towards. And I learned so much from those years. But honestly, it was in hindsight. Because it took the death of my father and a global pandemic for me to finally realize that I didn't have to be that person to be successful. I could move into feminine energy and begin to receive instead. Because my dad was dying and we were in the middle of a global pandemic and my business was making pivots literally hourly, I had to release control and I had to allow myself to feel at ease. Because the universe brought me to this place, right? The universe, like, all this stuff happened at the same time. And the universe brought me to a place where I had to choose, okay? I had to choose between, I'm going to keep fighting, I'm going to keep fighting against, or I'm going to step into the flow of what was happening and begin to accept and receive help. I had to choose receiving, right? In the global pandemic, I didn't think that I could afford to hire anybody, right? Even before the pandemic, I was like, I can't afford to hire anybody from the front desk. I had one person that worked a couple hours a week. Well, she worked 2 days a week for me so that I could have a couple days off. And when my dad was dying and I had to choose to be different, I had to choose my family over work, then I had to accept help. Okay? I had to choose receiving, accepting. I had to choose not sweating the small stuff. I had to choose to prioritize my family and my mental health. I had to choose to be different, to react differently. I had to choose to be at ease in situations. I had to choose to be playful and whimsical. I had to choose to nourish myself. And then last year, when I learned about somatics and working with your identity and your belief systems through somatics, everything came together for me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been trying to do. Now it all makes sense. And I'm honestly like, I don't know, like if I wouldn't have found breath work, which is a somatic practice, I don't know if I would be here delivering this program to you. And I mean that in more than one way. Okay? I went through a very dark period in my life, and I also went through a lot of days where I was ready to just quit. I was like literally like, I'm gonna go work at Starbucks and be a barista. And like there's nothing wrong with being a barista. But it was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this business. I'm gonna go work at a job that's really busy, that's gonna keep my mind occupied, but I can't do this business anymore. Okay? I honestly don't know if I didn't find breath work, if I would be here delivering this program. And so what I want to teach you is to shift who you are being into something that makes you feel the way that you want to feel. You have power inside you that's just waiting. It's there. It's like, oh, she's getting ready to make a shift. I can't wait to show her what's under here. Like it's there. And it's always been there. But the weight of the world and life and people took that away, made it hide, made you think you needed to be different. Well, I'm here to tell you you get to be as much you as you want to be. Okay? And the way that we make this shift is by moving we're moving into tapping into desire of who you want to be and gently letting go of anything that is not serving you. And it doesn't mean that you can't pick those things back up, those things you let go of, if you want it or need it at some time. But this work is really about figuring out how you want your life to feel. Like, have you ever thought about that? How do I want my life to feel? I really want you to consider that today. I'm seeing your comments. Hello, Christine. Hello, Shelly. Thank you. Thank you, Shelly. That means a lot. How do you want your life to feel? So within this program, what we did is we built in the supports of yoga, somatic exercise, and all the other things that I'm going to do to support and complement the master classes so that you can be in a place where your nervous system can begin to heal, so that you can receive more easily, so that your vision is more clear, and so that you feel grounded. Okay? When you're grounded in full self-acceptance and you have this undeniable trust in yourself, you can make decisions and choices based on you rather than what somebody told you you should be doing, right? Much of what we know, much of the way we act is based on what people have demonstrated and told us about being. Okay? We are going to release belief systems that are holding you back so you can live in the way that you want to live and feel the way that you want to feel and love the way that you want to love. And I truly believe that this course I have created is an absolute masterpiece. And it's a culmination of everything that has led me up to this point. Everything that I feel is valuable to healing and becoming me. And the crazy part is that it's only $199. And I honestly don't think I'll ever be able to offer it for that price again. I want to provide you so much value within this container, within these 7-8 weeks together, that your mind is just blown every single week. And I want to hear feedback about what works and what doesn't work, but I'm just going to throw everything I got at you. I'm excited to exercise my new coaching skills. I'm excited to share somatics with you. I want this to be an experience that you will desire to share with others because it changed something for you. I don't want this to be just another program you did or videos you watch. I want things to be different come September. Because no matter where you are in life, no matter what you're struggling with, becoming more of you is always going to move you in the direction of your dreams and desires. And so I had a question today in the group, and it made me think of one more bonus that we can offer if you want to join us. And so somebody asked, how long do we get to keep the videos? Do we have lifetime access? And so what you're going to get is you're actually going to get access to the videos until December 31st of 2024. So you have a little less than 6 months, and you're going to have the content to go back to and keep evolving with. And I'm just and I'll be in the group still if you need to ask questions. Maybe we'll do some updated Q&As between now and December. But this is literally one of these opportunities where I feel like I'm going to give so much over the next little while, right? That I'm just going to be okay, can never charge $199 for that again. right? So you get to keep these videos. You get to keep it all, until December 31st, 2024. So you have 6 months. So what are you going to do for the rest of 2024 so that at midnight on January 1st, you can think back and see what shifted and where you're going next rather than setting another resolution, right? Me going through this book, I was prepping for another course the other day and I was looking through this book, but me going through this inspired me so much for what's next for me. And that's what I want for you. What's next for you? What do you want more of? How do you want to feel? Okay. So again, here's what's included, and we can break up the $199 into payments if you need. That's not a problem. Okay. So we have 6 Bloom into Being modules. This program focuses on releasing these disempowering beliefs to create more joy, freedom, fulfillment. You're going to explore your authentic self, clarify your values, align with your heart's desires. There's going to be an emphasis on letting go of the need for other people to validate you, right? You're going to tune into that inner voice. You're going to experience mindset shifts, practical somatic practices, and I hope that your healing is just accelerated in unexpected ways, okay? By working with your nervous system, you're going to regain control and agency in your life and move away from autopilot. So if you're ready to embrace more from life, this program is going to offer you this next empowering step forward. Okay? And then to support these master classes, we will also have 6 yoga classes, which again, you can watch again and again. And this is a series that's truly for beginners, truly for all bodies. And it's also going to have yoga philosophy and contemplation woven in. I really want to show you the 8 limbs of yoga, and doing yoga postures is just one of the 8 limbs. So it's only 12.5% of yoga. So I really want to show you all of yoga within these 6 weeks. It's going to be a difficult task. I'm going to give you tip of the iceberg, all of the yoga. Okay. And then 6 somatic exercise classes with Mandy. And somatic exercise is amazing, right? It goes against what we typically think of as exercise. There's no cardio, there's no strengthening. Everything's done really slow and deliberate, focusing on sensation in your body. And man, when I do this class, I come out of it and I'm like, I didn't know I had those muscles, right? And what this does is it trains your body to let things go and reduce pain and reduce tension. We've had some crazy testimonials about this class that we've run at the studio. And then this is going to help you get into the body more and really feel the body. You also get access to the Above Average Wellness virtual yoga class library and all of the online yoga classes. You're going to get Q&As with me throughout the 6 weeks and beyond. Bonus pop-up modules and practices to harness your energy, such as Breathwork for Grief. So I just added Breathwork for Grief for all of the Self-Love Summer memberships. Well, I didn't actually do it yet, but I added it in my mind. I will go and fix it after this live. Also, I did a really cool breathwork course yesterday, and I was like, oh, I want to teach this again online. I also wrote a blog post about it today, so you can go read about that on the blog. You can meditate, Kundalini yoga. There's going to be all these extra things that kind of just pop in when I have time to fit them in my schedule, but you'll have the recordings and you'll be able to watch them again and again. Okay. And you're getting all this for literally $199 plus tax. Okay. You break it up into payments. It's a no-brainer. And it's going to be amazing. Seriously, I'm so flippin' excited. I love this work. I love this work because every time I teach, I grow. And you get to be part of that, part of the community, part of the co-creation. So, and every single class, just so you know, is recorded. And there's going to be stuff in the exclusive Facebook community. There's already quite a few of you in there already. But the live class times are as follows. We have Mondays, we have the beginner yoga at 6, Bloom into Being at 7:30. And then Wednesdays, we have the somatic exercise. And then everything's else is going to kind of be pop up. But there's going to be just so much flipping value in there. And like the recordings are going to be really good quality, and support is also going to be fantastic because there's going to be this Q&A thread where you can ask questions anytime, and then I'll pop on and answer them live, or I might answer them in the comments for you. But I want to make sure this is like a really, really rock star experience for anybody who decides to join us. So we start on Monday, a week from today. So I might pop in with some other videos and some other promo material, and we're doing the draw on Wednesday for the self-love like little thing that I put together for you, the little package. So make sure you go RSVP to that event so we can extract the names out of the group. That's the only way to do it. I didn't realize that Facebook groups had changed. So you need to go RSVP to that event so we can extract your names so we can do the draw. So thank you so much for anybody that was here. I know there's a few people on live, and if you catch it on the replay, just like hashtag replay. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments. I really hope that you join us. This, like I said, my heart is like exploding with everything that's happening in my life, and I just want to share it with all of you. So have a good night, and feel free to ask any questions, and we'll see you again soon.